You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Woo! Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast with your boy Al Mega, and I'm here to talk some independent comics with an amazing creator. Because you know that's what we do here, Comic Crusaders, right? We love to support independent creators, so we hope you support us as well as we support the next generation of amazing creators like the one I'm about to talk to right now. My man is a writer, he's the creator, a wrestling aficionado, apparently. I'm about to find out. Ultra comic book geek, man, that has a dope Kickstarter project that's live right now. We only have 10 days to go on this project called Starr Slam. Boom, baby. And let's talk about who we're going to slam in order for you to make it rain, make it rain. Let me introduce the writer, the creator, the big boss himself, the champion of Starr Slam, the one, the only Mr. Ged Hartland. How you doing, homie?
That is the best intro I've ever had to anything. How you doing now?
Yeah, I mean, you should feel it. I'm doing great, man. You should go, yo, do it. You're the champ. You're the champ. You got that, you talk wrestling, it's comic book, it's that adventure, it's a whole bunch of goodness, and I can't wait to get into that creative brain of yours, along with our wonderful crusaders out there. I mean, just get into it, man. So again, I appreciate your time. All right, thank you for coming onto the Comic Crusaders podcast. Now, brother, I already told you in the agreement what we got to do here, and one of the most important questions I have to ask you right now, obviously it starts with the journey. All right, so tell me where you originally from, and most important, what was the first thing ever in your life in fandom that you fell in love with?
So I'm based in the UK. So I grew up in Birmingham. So probably the most famous thing here is that you might know is like Peaky Blinders. Do you know Peaky Blinders?
I do know Peaky Blinders. I'm familiar with the name. Not that I watch, but I am familiar with the name. Yes.
Yeah. So that's like the kind of the big show that's just up the road here. So I mean I grew up with comics and with like superheroes and everything. Like my dad was really into it. Like he had all the My old man had like first issues of things like the Silver Surfer and everything. He was a kid, so and then his mom threw him away, so I don't think he's ever forgiven her for that.
Can I tell you, Jed, that's not just a UK mom thing. I'm a Puerto Rican, New York, and let me tell you, I had stacks of amazing baseball cards.
Oh,
one day I came home as I bought new packs to add to my collection. I'm like, what are my cards? Oh my God. Dude, I had the rookies at mommy. I could have bought you a house. Anyway.
So yeah.
Get your mother. Tell her she threw away a fortune. She could have had a house, land, cows, horses, everything.
So yeah, like he I think he kind of like eased us into it all and everything. And I mean, like the first film I saw at the cinema was like Superman 4, which is like the worst. But like at like 6 years old, I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever.
How was the support for okay, so you say that you grew up in the UK, so I'm curious, how was the support for that, like Superman film, especially in the UK? Was it a big thing, or did you easily walk in?
I mean, I remember going in. I think we were pretty much the only ones in the cinema for that one. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty bad film looking back, but then the one that I locked in on was the Batman '89, that Tim Burton film.
Tell me you saw that in the cinema.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it in the cinema because it was a 12 here. So like I was heartbroken. What's that?
What do you mean by that? It was a 12.
Oh, so it was like the first film in the UK to get like a 12 certificate. So you couldn't see it if you were under the age of 12.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it wasn't like a PG or anything. They made like a special certificate for it. And so yeah, I had to like wait for that to come on VHS. Like, so it was like another like, you know, to kids these days, that's like, oh, that's 6 weeks. It was like 8 months or something. You know?
Yeah, listen, you kids are spoiled. Yeah, let them know. Back in the day, a movie dropped in the cinema. By the time it dropped on video cassette, like months, and I mean months have passed.
Yeah.
Like, and it's right, 8 months, 9 months by the time you get it on tape for you to watch it for the first time before it even goes into, you know, like an HBO or whatever WWE that you had at
None
the time.
of that. None of that.
None of that. Oh man. So yeah, I know what I'm saying. But isn't it crazy nowadays? The movie drops, and within 2 months, it's on the streaming network. Like, why go to the cinema? Just wait 2 months.
Yeah.
That's why cinema's dying.
Yeah, it was painful, like waiting for that. And then, but I had like, you know, every type of possible merchandise I could get my hands on when I was a kid. Like that was like my pocket money, and just kind of like from that, I think it was just, you know, anything that was anything kind of comic booky in the cinemas, on the TV, anything like that. I was always into like action cartoons. Like I didn't really get into like the Disney kind of stuff at all, like, you know, like the Lion King or anything. That just stuff seemed to like pass me by.
Don't listen to the Lion King. That was my first date with the ex-wife. It was a fun date. Those are date movies, but I get you. As a kid, as a boy, hell yeah, brother. It was G.I. Joe, Transformers, Toolbox, Mask. You know, let's go.
Yeah, like anything, and basically any. I think I was like the perfect like target audience, because it was just like, okay, we can sell this as a toy line. It was just like just a point and aim at basically kids like me, really. And then yeah, like, so I was always into that stuff. Was into more like wrestling when I was a kid.
Wait. So how was wrestling in the UK? Did you have American wrestling, or did you guys kind of have your own jam out there?
Yeah, it was. So when I was like 6 or 7, it was kind of the big stars were Hogan, Warrior, but
so typical WWF.
Oh yeah. But we could only, again, it was like you could only get them on VHS, so we would get these like VHSs, and yeah. I don't remember watching it on the TV.
What the hell is wrong with you guys out there? My God, they censor everything. Are you serious?
Oh, we lived on VHS, so like you get like one of us would get it, and then you'd like, you know, you'd watch it about 5 times at each other's houses, and then. But like there was like the UK wrestling, which like my nan watched, which was just like these like big giant like heavyset guys, which wasn't like sleek. There was no fireworks or anything. So, you know, like I'd be saying to my nan, I'm like watching wrestling, and she'd be like, really? And then she would explain what she was watching, and we would just be like looking at each other like, yeah, we're not coming at this from the same from the same angle at all. So yeah, I mean, like I was really into that, and then kind of, I guess, just like drifted a bit away from the wrestling a bit, and then just I think when I was about 14, 15, a few of my friends started talking about like the Attitude Era, and just being like, yeah, like kind of.
You just robbed me in my question, because I was about to ask you, did you have a tribe that you could get along with in your geekdom? So you're just talking about now the Attitude Era. Heck,
yeah, I literally remember it as clear as day, like just being in our cloakroom and just like a couple of my friends talking about it, and I was just like what, like that sounds awesome. And then literally that Friday night, I remember watching, it was like in the WWE, it was like the corporate ministry taking on the Union, and then Austin running down and just cleaning house and everything. It was just like, yeah, I'm done. Like I'm in this.
I know it was a great era. I admit that shit, bro. Let me tell you that I was hardcore into wrestling. Again, I'm an '80s kid for sure, and I love that like clean era. But when Attitude Era started. Stone Cold, all that shit, fucking DX, all that shit, yo. I was fucking all in it. Like, Yeah, NWO with WCW, you know what I mean? Let's go, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, everything you got to include in that era. Like, yeah, that was badass shit. I mean, Hogan was the heel, bro. Hogan was the ultimate heel.
and the thing was, because I got in with Austin when he was. I kind of missed the NWO thing, and then kind of like went back and rediscovered that a few years later, and I was just like, how the hell did I miss this? Because I like,
oh my God, you never saw it live?
Yeah, so like I was watching watching the whole Sting story, the black and white Sting, which I think is just so cool. Like like all of that stuff, and then I've just kind of always been like drifting in and out of it ever since, really. Like any storylines that pick me up, like I've loved like watching all the stuff with the bloodline and everything, like over the last couple of years with The Rock.
I mean, again, my father is the one got me obviously into wrestling as a kid. You know, watching it. You know, back in the day, the Saturday Night Main Event. I'm excited that it's coming back to Netflix to check it out. So
yeah.
And you know, hopefully it's better than that Tyson and Paul fight.
No comment.
Paul, I'll give you a better fight than Tyson could. I mean, he stopped himself because maybe you put him on the contract. Please let me beat your ass. You wouldn't anyway, I love it. So talk to me then about you getting creative. When the interest sparked when you started saying, you know, I want to kind of do something.
So like I went to uni and I was studying. Like I've always like been a kind of a film geek, I guess. Like always been into that stuff. Like went to the cinema loads with my dad when I was in the 90s. Like just like every Sunday really we would go. So then when I kind of went to uni, I studied like writing for film and TV, and part of that was script writing. And then when I came out of uni, I just started writing my own scripts, and like Starr Slam was one of the first film scripts I ever did.
Film script. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a full feature, and I entered it into competitions and stuff, and I always got good feedback. Like, you know, like the people really like the characters and stuff, but they were just like, "You're a new writer. This is going to cost too much to make." Basically, just like, that is just not going to happen.
Fuck those people and those stupid opinions. I mean, listen, if you want to make it work, you could, but it's all right. I like the way they're going. But I just want to throw that out there. Fuck people that try to squash people's dreams like that. Fuck that, bro. Oh, you're gonna make it happen because this is the proof of concept right here. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So like I kind of wrote. I like almost like put it on the pile, carried on writing scripts, and then during COVID, really, I just and I had my first son. I started writing.
Wait, you said you had your first son? Did you have your first kiddo during COVID?
Yeah, just before COVID.
Oh my God! So how was that experience having your first kid, and you're also a creator, and this fucking lockdown, and in the UK? So a different experience than what
time. It was hectic, and like you're trying to work and everything. It was, but so I like started to. I love reading and everything, and I was, I'd be up late with him and stuff, and I'd be like reading a book, and I would just sit there like that and everything. So I was like, okay, I need to like read something that's like a shorter form so I can get through stuff. And so I started like thinking, maybe I could like get back into like reading graphic novels. So bizarrely, my dad got me a load, like just a bundle of them, and then for Christmas one time, and then I was just like, maybe I should just write one like after COVID, and it was just Starr Slam was the one that I thought I think I could adapt this. I think I could like take this and turn it into us, so many issues, and that's where it kind of.
There we go. All right, so let's talk before I start showing off this kick-ass Kickstarter, no pun intended. Talk about this now. All right, this was a film script. Now you want to adapt it to comics. What was that learning curve like? And then, obviously, you had to learn how to build a team that's not a film crew, but rather now a art crew. How was that journey like?
So like the writing of it, I tried it with a couple of other like scripts at first. So there was I actually had another script that I was going to turn into. There was a Christmas script that I was going to turn into like a Kindle book and everything. And I was just like, oh, this is going to take too long to do, to be honest. Like, I'm going to go with a comic and everything just because it's so visual. And I had like a lot of the Starr Slam, the action scenes and everything. I had them so clear in my head, like what I wanted to do. I was just like, this makes way more sense to do as like, why don't I like do this? Because I know what the panels will be to it pretty much. So yeah, I just started writing, started like laying it out and everything. And to be honest, it wasn't, I didn't find it that hard to translate to the comic setting. It was more just breaking it into issues because, like, you know, you've got in a film script, you've kind of got first act, second act, third act, whereas this was like, okay, you need to end every issue with a cliffhanger. The pace has got to be slightly different and stuff. That. And yeah,
how do you break that up? You know, 3 acts into 7 issues. Like, what's the logic? How's the logic there as a writer? Like, okay, I gotta go from 3 acts in a film to 7 issues in a book format, in the comic format at that. Hopefully, at the pace of the artist as well. Because how many pages per issue we talking about? I mean, that shit must have blown your mind.
You know what? It just boiled down to kind of character. I kept going back because I'd listened to so many podcasts about writing and just creating stuff that it just went back to, okay, in each issue, where does, like, if we focus on like 1 or 2 of the characters from the ensemble, where do they start and where do they end at the issue? And is there a bit of a transition? And then it was just kind of like, okay, so, and gradually it kind of like just formed like, okay, that's the jumping point then for the next issue, like doing it like that. And so there were a few bits that I needed to tweak and like add in the odd like action scene and everything to kind of beef it out. But it kind of gave me, bizarrely, it was like I went from like almost like a 2-hour script to having it in like comic issues, but it gave me more time to like spend on each character almost as well, like
you
kind of give them a bit
with the universe. It's the Hartland verse, baby.
So yeah, it just kind of worked. And then I sent it out to a few people, and I saw that ASAP Imagination were asking for samples from people, and I sent it to them. And Laurie, who's the editor, she got back to me and she was like, I sent her 10 pages and she was just like, I want to keep reading to the end of this. And then I sent her the rest and she was just like, I got to be honest, I'm not a wrestling fan, but I'm just sold on this and everything. You know, like kind of, we want to like work with you on it. And I love,
listen, Paul Hades, if you will, Hayden, let me tell you, he's the man, a wonderful human being that's definitely out there to support independent creators. And again, he's doing this in the UK. And he's spreading the goodness across the USA too. So I mean, a big salute to ASAP Imagination. You know, NE1 as well. The letters exactly. NE the number 1 as well. All right, check that out. And he got ASAP Kids. I mean, let me tell you, my man got like a whole bunch of stuff going on. And please check out this wonderful universe that he's got going on. He's introducing creators like my man Ged right here.
Got so many.
You know what? Let's start talking about it. Boom, folks. Yeah, baby, right there. Listen, we needed $1,203. We have $1,465 with 27 backers. A big God bless you guys supporting independent comics. We have 10 days to go. 10 days to go, folks. The Kickstarter link is below. It's below, right? Where? Right there. Yeah. So show that love to this amazing creator. We talking wrestling. We talking sci-fi. This, it says here 1 to 5, but you talking not even about 7. I mean, did it increase? What are we talking about here, baby? Starr Slam, man. Talk to me about this whole story. Why Starr Slam? What was it about Starr Slam? You say, this needed to be a comic book. I'm going to introduce this crazy wrestling world in the sci-fi fandom. Let's go. Talk to me. Give me the elevator pitch, kiddo.
So it is basically a group of over-the-hill wrestlers, like veteran wrestlers who were big stars in their time, at the top of their tier. 20, 30 years later, they've like fallen on hard times, struggling to make ends meet. they've all got history with each other. They're all struggling, like physically, mentally, etc. And then they're in a tour bus. They're traveling cross country to their next gig, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, poof, like an alien ship just smashes into the dirt beside them, and that's it. You're kind of off and running, really, and they're like pulled into like this kind of intergalactic invasion story, and it's just basically if they can like work out their differences and everything to kind of like work together to kind of like sort this out, basically, because they're like kind of end up being like Earth's like kind of last hope for it. It's just a real fun adventure story.
Are you telling me that Hulk Hogan and them folks, the new blood, all them folks are going to be our last hope?
Kind of, yeah, pretty much. So the way I kind of saw the pitch was like, if you like a film like say Galaxy Quest, and then by way of like the WWE or like Guardians of the Galaxy, films like Red, the Bruce Willis like film, anything like that, really. I think you'll get a kick out of this.
I'm digging, man. And so talk to me about building the team. So you have this wonderful script that you worked on. You said, all right, I'm going to make it X amount of issues. Now, I mean, this is your first journey into comics, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like building the team? Like, how did you know it was the right folks that like, for example, the artists, the letterers, everything, they were the right fit? How did you know this? How did you navigate that? Did you have help? Talk to me about that.
So I mean, really, I had experience from when I'd been working in with scripts and stuff, and I'd worked with a few producers and everything, and I'd kind of had the horror stories of like working with people, and you send them a script and then you kind of get like all the red notes back and everything, and you're just like, wait a minute, this is like completely different to what I like did originally. Like, this is completely like going in a different direction. I'm not sure like this is going to work. But the difference was with working with ASAP is, when I was working initially with Laurie, it wasn't like, okay, we like this, but we want you to change like this, and it and everything. It was just like, we're fully supportive of this. Just, do the odd nip and tuck here. And Hades was really reassuring about kind of how supportive they were, how they don't want to kind of like take you off in a different direction. It was just really, reassuring, and just felt really supportive. And then he had some ideas of like the artist he would approach, and so he managed to get the artist Huizia Trujano, and when he put the initial concept to him, like his response was just like almost like, don't offer it to anyone, like I just want to do it. And I just kind of gave a pitch of what I was looking for. So my idea was always, I wanted it to feel like or look like almost like an 80s kind of toy line, almost like that kind of.
I see it. Look at
yeah. And he just came back with the initial sketches, and I was just like, oh man, he's just nailed it. And so it's just, it has been really kind of easy going as such, really, to kind of like work with the guys on it. Like, they're just such a good group of people, and like the ASAP community of writers and like the artists and everything, they're just so nice and like supportive. So you feel really, really at ease with it all.
You hear this? This is indie comics, folks. This indie comics done properly, where creators feel at home, they feel free, they feel that they could do what they got to do. And again, look at this. Again, do I have to show you again? Yeah, I have to. Of course I do. Of course I do. Again, listen, $1,200 goal. They already reached the goal. They're $1,400. But listen, they got 10 days to go. Let's make it rain. Now listen, you got Jed. We got to sell these folks right here. Like, so as they keep making it rain, what type of opportunities are these folks? Again, look at this beautiful art, man. Look at this panel work, beautiful. Talk to me about the stretch goals. What are we talking about?
So, I mean, to be fair, we've already unlocked the there's a number of comics that we made available from the Any One World universe, and we've already made those available to everybody now through the pledges. But in terms of rewards that are available with us. You know, it obviously starts with the issue, hard copies of the issue. We've got some awesome t-shirts that have been like designed by Huitzi, so they're available on there as well. There's the option still to be drawn into SU1. Now, I was amazed at how many people have already signed up for this.
Folks. Listen, you want to get your head cut off by somebody. A great Christmas, folks. Listen, here's the shit right now. You guys do not understand. People that are listening, to those that have significant others, this is the beautiful gift to give somebody. Like, yo, put them in the comic book. Great gift. Support these Kickstarters, because these independent creators are giving your loved ones an opportunity to be a part of a story. So how cool is it? You present them a book, and when they reach that page, they're like, huh? Is that? I mean, what a great surprise. So folks, stocking stuffers right here, support independent creators, especially now with the holidays coming up. I believe that would be a wonderful gift. And not just that, listen, you know what, even go harder. Get them t-shirts, get them combos, get everything going on. Right? What do you agree? Jed, do you agree?
100%. Yeah. And like we got the trading card you've got on there was just something that was like a last minute like kind of thing, where initially we were thinking about stickers and everything, and then my son has really got into like top trumps and stuff recently, and I was like, I just said to him and stuff like, he knew about my Kickstarter. He's like age 6, and I was like, would you like Daddy to do like some cards for my Kickstarter? And he like looked at me with a grin, like yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, and I put it to Hades, and he was like really spoiled. He's like, yeah, go for it. So yeah, we just designed these, and so we're gonna do an initial batch of like the main characters. So you get a handful of those that you can order.
And I really like the t-shirt design too. I think
I love that. Yeah.
So Brady Bunch, but you know, showing off your cast of characters, I think that shit is dope. I really like this a lot.
Yeah.
You know? Let me ask you. You know, we're talking about these trading cards again in the U.S. Big thing. You know, I'm from the U.S. and I'm sorry. You know, my curiosity is just out the box. I gotta ask: was trading cards a big thing, like the Marvel cards back in the day when you were growing up?
Oh yeah. So, like I remember crystal clear. There was like the WWE one with like Bret Hart on the front, and every kid in our school had that book.
Oh, word.
So you know, you've got like a whole wad of them that you're going through every playtime, like going like got swap like that.
Cool,
and it's still a thing, and so it's still a thing with kids now and everything. So
I love it.
Just made
some
sense.
innocence retained. Thank you, folks.
So yeah, it was just one of those things. I was just like, you know, it's a bit of a callback to the bit of nostalgia having them in there.
All right. So can you help me here? Because unfortunately, my friend, everything here is in pound. Oh, I see. Why is it about $7? Is it going to fluctuate like that on a daily basis?
I think it's a fixed price. It's just because it's a UK site. That's all.
So £5, about $7.
Yeah, I think it works out.
$7.99, but it's about
yeah.
I love it. I love this. Again, this folks, this is what we got to support independent creators like this. So, all right. So, we were talking 7. Here it says 5. Is it 5 or 7?
It's 5 issues for this one, and then I've got a very clear idea of what I would do if we were successful and did like a second volume.
How dare you? How dare you say we were? You're already successful right now. So, you know, we're going to get the whole shit going here. Listen, manifest, don't you dare talk like that, my big homie. You know, Ace of Imagination. Imagine the best out of this motherfucker, right? Right? You already done did it. So God bless there. I mean, I really can't wait till people get tuned in, because I think, you know, listen, I love my Marvel and DC. I'm not trying to diss them. You know, Marvel DC is the stepping stone. You know how they say marijuana is the gateway drug? Marvel in DC is the gateway drug to comics, and then you discover better shit through indie. And that's my real opinion. I really believe that. Like
Yeah.
Marvel and DC is the gateway drug. They're the marijuana, and then when you start reading indie, that's the hard stuff. That's
Yeah.
the real shit. That's
Yeah.
the slice of life, different superhero, more in tune with human emotion, not trying to play off a script, and trying to build an event. It's like
Yeah.
some cool shit. And thank you, Jay, for being one of those creators that just trying to build some fun books, that are fun, that hit sci-fi, they hit wrestling, it's kind of like, bro, I mean, thank you. You want to entertain us, man. We need more creators like you out there, honest to God. And again, listen, folks, that link is in the show notes. I'm also showing it off below. Unfortunately, through StreamYard is unclickable. I hope to find a format where you can just click it, but actually, no, then my next format is going to have a QR code. You can just go. Don't you worry, in about 2 months, we're just getting to know the format, but we're changing formats, and we're going to make our wonderful independent creators look even sexier. Wi-Fi. Yeah, yo, it's all about pimping, baby. But this is the project you got to support right now, bro. For real, it's fun. It's the holiday. So is the book ready to go? Is it done? Like once it's funded? Like talk to me about that.
So we've got so the script's done and dusted for all of the issues, but this one we've still got to do. So as soon as the Kickstarter ends, I mean we'll be cracking straight on to like issue 1 really, and the aim's to ideally bring it out like around March, April next year, hopefully.
The 2025 April being the latest that you expect the book to be
hopefully,
in ink. The people smelling the ink, and the sweat behind the wrestlers in that book.
In time for WrestleMania season.
You know what you should do? Your cards should be scratch and sniff and smell like sweat, like the wrestler. Give it a disgusting smell like sweat. It'll be fun. That's an idea. I love to sell ideas so much. Think about that. Yeah, like,
will do. That's one I'll pitch to Hades after this.
So outside of Starr Slam, once this project gets funded, and I know you have the storyline set up, I mean, is there any other particular projects that you're working up on the side? Are you going to be making any appearances anywhere where people can maybe meet you, shake your hand? What's popping?
I'm still. I've got a couple of other things that I'm working on at the moment. So I do like have a Christmas script that's kind of under option at the moment that we're trying to find a home for, which is pretty cool.
You're not trying, you're doing it's being worked on. I hate that word trying. If people are doing it, they're doing it. If it's being sold, it's being done, and it's not being tried to be done, that it's being done. Change those, manifest that energy, baby. Come on, bro.
And then I always try to have it where I've got like one project that's kind of underway, and then like 2 or 3 that are kind of in draft or like along the phases, stages and everything. So I try not to like just focus on solely like one thing. So when I can squeeze in a bit of writing between work and chasing after 2 little boys and stuff, like my 2 sons and stuff.
Great. Perfect segue, to my 2 more questions, obviously you're a busy man. How do you then segment your time between your creativity, your family, and your job as a creator? I mean, these are fun projects and all, but how do you kind of really make time for everybody, make sure your family is loved, but also that the project you're working on gets some love?
I mean, the family always comes first and foremost. Like I've always done it where I've always been like, I guess, a bit of a night owl when it comes to like working on any of my writing, like because I don't feel I can have it out of the table, if I'm like with my kids or anything like that, because I feel with writing I need to get a bit of momentum. Like you need to kind of build up a head of steam with it. So if I get like an hour a night or something like that, or half an hour, I can like, just pen a few bits and pieces, or when I'm walking in and like to work or whatever, I'll be like sticking notes on my phone, anything like that. Just squeezing it in where I can. You just, I don't know, you just find a way if you, I guess, if you love it enough, really. And I've just always loved writing and storytelling, to be honest. Like it's just always been part of who I am, I guess.
So that would that be your advice to creators? You know, when you make the time, you know, if you could make the time, fit the time, and get it done.
Yeah, I think honestly, the more stories I hear of other writers and creators and anyone who breaks through, it's kind of like the inspiration, the creativity is kind of like 20% of it. It's the effort and kind of dedication that is like that 80% really is just kind of like getting yourself better, accepting like criticism. You know, I've been rejected so many times or like not had responses to things and stuff, but you just kind of like you can either like sit and mope and like, you know, feel sorry for yourself, but ultimately like no one's going to come and like knock your door with this stuff. Like it's up to you to kind of pick yourself up and go again. And yeah, that's just how I always feel about writing. And that's what I just say to anyone is just like someone might reject you, but then the other person, you know, writing subjective, art subjective, someone else might love it. So, you know, just don't give up, basically.
Never give up, baby. That's right. Never. I don't give up. I'm always going to celebrate everyone. We're here to support amazing creators, especially like Jeff. I love that, man. Like you're positive. Love the book. Love the project. I love that it's fun. I love that you're working with my big homie, Big Hades out there in the UK. Good man out there, you know, doing the good business, you know, and trying to work out there again. And I'm sorry, how dare I say trying? He is doing the work and getting independent creators, you know, projects out there. So let me tell you, you know, that's where it's at. So take the word, try out them out, guys, especially when you're doing things, you know, you're getting them done. And, you know, Jed is the perfect example. He got this wonderful project. Let me bring it up on stage just one more time. Listen, we got just, you know, 10 days to go. Show some love. 27 backers, 1465 over 1263 gold. Let's make it rain a whole lot more. All right, a whole lot more. 1,000 pounds. Well, you know, here it shows me. It's so weird. Here it shows me kind of dollars, and then the bottom shows me pound. How dare they try to confuse me? What is wrong with the system? Anyway, I love it. But Starr Slam with where it's at, folks. I mean, get the swag, get the book. I mean, look how dope this looks. I can't. Look at this. Look at that artistry. Boom, baby.
Yeah,
That's
gorgeous,
right.
man.
Get the art looks great. You have a wonderful team. Dope swag, dope everything. Great publisher. There's no way you could lose by helping on this project. Especially again, you know, you put this card in the in your stocking stuffer for your fans, for the family. I mean, and like, yo, this project is coming to you in April. Check it out. You might be in it. You know, if you go that, I'm telling you, that's the best gift you'll give anyone. Make sure they're in it. And there's only a limited number of those. So
yeah,
the time, yo, there's gonna be a contest right now. Get it done. I think that's the best gift you'll give anyone. An appearance in the comic book. What? I would love that.
I'd say with the extra thing as well, with the being in the comic, it's that you will get to be in the it's basically you will appear in like the prologue of when the stars were in their actual heyday and everything. So it's in the first very, very few pages that we're going to do that. So whoever's kind of supports is like you're getting on board. You know, you're going to feature at the very, very start of the story. So not a throwaway. It's like
it's forever in the issues. The guy with the beard, you know, with the hook on it. Yeah, baby, that's right. Yo, I'm a wrestler too. Stop. Yo, Jed, thank you so much, brother. I love having you on. You have great energy. I love the book. Again, a big salute and thank you, bro, as a fan to an independent creator for sharing in your story and your journey. Like, yo, we appreciate you guys. Like, you know, this is the entertainment we need. This shit is gonna take us away from the world and not try to keep us in
it. Thanks so much for having us on, man. Thanks for the opportunity to share it.
So, folks, this is what it is. I've been showing it off. I'm gonna tell you and repeat this verbally now, man. All right, you gotta go to that Kickstarter. The project is called Starr Slam. That's Star with 2 R's, man. This Slam with 1 M. That's right, Starr Slam 2 R's. Please check them out on Kickstarter right now. And then on Instagram, I need you to find my man at Ged Hartland, HART 316, because he's part of the Marvel Universe. So Ged Hartland 316. All right. And then you can follow him on X at Hartland. Again, H-A-R-T land. G. Follow the story, follow the journey, support the project. That is Starr Slam. Ace of Imagination, anyone, baby. That's what it is. You know what I mean? I've been showing them off. So go to the link tree as well. So it's link tree, with the D, TR, then double D with a dot. You know what I mean? Ace of Imagination. Check them out there. You could get all their links and support their amazing projects. They have an amazing array of independent creators. A lot of Crusaders on that brand too. So let me tell you that I'm very proud of that. That Paul taking care of my people. And not just mine, but others like Ged that are definitely out there to bring us wonderful entertainment. Ged, again, thank you for your time. But my Crusaders that tuned in, thank you so much. And what it is, please follow everything Comic Crusaders, comiccrusaders.com, YouTube Comic Crusaders World. I mean, we support independent comics. Show us some love, yo. You want to show some love? We have cash ups too at Comic Crusaders. I don't like to ask for money, but if you want to show love, because you see what we do, we could definitely use some love, but hey, I don't mind. Like I pay for this because I want to, and I support this because I love to. Supporting people like this guy and my friends is an actual blessing for me. Like I learn a lot, and I hope you guys learn a lot too. And I've had messages from creators, Ged, where they tell me, "Hey, you spoke to so and so, and the gems they dropped. I'm taking notes." So you dropped some gems today. So thank you for sharing in your journey, and hopefully you inspired others as well.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having us, Al.
Absolutely. Hasta la próxima, gente. You know what it is.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.